So this is what a gaffer does in pre-production. So the bulk of a gaffer's job happens during production, but there are many ways a gaffer can prepare to make a shoot run smoothly and efficiently during pre-production, most of which is reliant upon the wishes of the DP and the director. So a great way to start out with this is by making an equipment list. Oftentimes a gaffer will be asked what kind of grip and electric equipment they want or need for the shoot. Now this may be a little overwhelming, but some things to keep in mind for this is the size of your location, the look you're going for, the versatility of the equipment you pick, and what each piece does. Another key thing to remember when choosing your equipment is the difference between tungsten and LED lights. As you can see back here, I have a tungsten and an LED light. The LED one is on the right. They are more powerful at lower wattages than tungsten lights are. They produce less heat, so they're a little safer. Some are able to dim, change color temperature, produce RGB colors, and sometimes even special effects with no additional equipment. Now the tungsten light, like the one on the left, those are the old school lights that we all know and love. They use up more amps and get hot very quickly, so they get a bit dangerous pretty quickly, but they're often cheaper and they also have a much more natural look than LEDs do. Some things to keep with you and to buy before you come to set is a gaff belt or a toolkit, depending on how you want to call it. The first thing I would buy for sure is a pair of gloves. These are very important when handling hot equipment, or when even handling equipment outdoors. Things can get cold very quickly and things can get hot very quickly when outside. So gloves are always very useful. You may also want a light meter. I'll talk about this later but a light meter is a great way to just kind of see how the exposure levels are doing on your subject or anywhere else in your scene. You may also want some gaff tape. I have some here. I'm almost out because I use it all the time. But yeah, gaff tape is important for so many different things, you won't even believe it. Spike tape is also a great one for taping smaller things down or to mark where your actors are, or anything like that. You may also want a multi-tool. This one was relatively cheap, and considering like how much film equipment is, so is this whole tool belt. This is probably less than 50 bucks. This multi-tool was about like 15, and I get lots of compliments on it. But you just want to make sure you have something that has like a screwdriver, a knife, and a pair of pliers in there, and you should be good. And like I said, these things are relatively cheap to get for your own, and it's so useful you won't even believe it. And you look super cool on set with a cute little gaff belt. You may also want some markers, just in case you need to do things with a slate or just mark things down. Markers are always helpful, and I don't have one of these, but a flashlight is also good when working in the dark so you can, see what you're doing. Another important thing to keep in mind during pre-production as a gaffer is to make lighting plans. So you don't want to be afraid to ask your DP for shot lists and storyboards, or your director for blocking if they know it, because this will help you tremendously when you make your own lighting plans. And this is just a great way to prepare for set, because you kind of get a sense of how you're gonna like the scene and where everything is gonna be, so you won't be overwhelmed when you get to set. So oftentimes people use overhead diagrams, which self-explanatory. They're just an overhead view of what the location is going to look like, and these can be used to determine where a light or a flag will go, or even where the actors are moving or where the camera is moving, so you really just know how the set is functioning. But whatever method works best for you to have a lighting plan is a-okay, just as long as you are good on set.